Yam Shaiva Samupasate Shivaidi Brahmeti Vedantino Bahuddha Buddha Idi Pramana Padavaha Kartedi Nayaiga Arhan Nityadha Jaina Shasanarada Karmeti Mimamsaga Soyamvo Vidadhatu Vanchita Phalam Trahilokyanaatho Harihi Soyamvo Vidadhatu Vanchita Phalam Trahilokyanaatho Harihi. The meaning of the last line of this invocation is this: may the Supreme Reality, spoken of differently by different names of God, fulfill the genuine wishes of all of you. I think it is a benediction which all of you will like. I will recite that line once more. Soyamvo vidadhadu vanchita phalam Trailokyanaatho Harihi Madhya Hridaya Kashe Sadanandamayo Guru Udetu Satatam Samyak Ajnana Timirarunaha. Hari Om Tat Sat. Guru. In all our sessions, I started with a chorus recitation of the auspicious monosyllable Om, Omkara, 3 times by all of us. I shall be speaking to you and all of you will be listening to me. But before that, I would like to be immersed in the chorus recitation of this wonderful monosyllable by all of you. While reciting and producing this chorus sound, I would like you to have a thought, an imagination, a creative thought, deliberate thinking, that this recitation, the sound, should not merely permeate this hall and Petaling Jaya and Kuala Lumpur. It should permeate and go beyond the boundaries of Malaysia to engulf the entire globe and spread its benedictory vibrational influence so that all the creatures, beings, particularly the human beings, will have the salutary effect and they will have peace, welfare and solidarity. This kind of a thought projection, an expansional thought process, is possible only for the human beings, none else. That is our greatness. It is to understand this that all of you have come here taking a 2-day holiday, having decided to focus your sole attention on the subject that we are going to discuss in this workshop. It is not a discussion. You are going to imbibe the subject, its worth, its profundity and message, which will remain as a great resource in your life. While reciting this Omkara, I would like you not to be shy or reluctant. It is producing a sound. Instead of shouting, you are producing a very calculated and sublime voice. It is a wonderful expression coming from the heart and the brain. It has the power to increase the longevity of your heart, apart from other influences, psycho-intellectual in character. I would like you to interlock your fingers and put them on your lap. All of you take your position in such a manner that you will be looking at me straight so that you will not strain your neck. After interlocking your fingers and putting them on your lap, sit comfortably erect. I don't want you to strain in the process. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. And then open the heart and your mouth. Then join me. 3 times. I know how many people are seated before me. So the voice I hear should be proportionate to the number of people here. So I would like you to have a full-throated application in this voice. Harihi, Harihi, Harihi. Join me together. I don't think you have responded. I don't feel encouraged. Come out. Your forefathers will be greatly pleased. And the coming generations will also express a lot of gratitude for you for having imbibed this wonderful spiritual culture as a part of your life. So, come. Harihi. Much better. But bring the best now, the last. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Jai Guru. Very good, but could be better. Let me first of all greet all of you in the name of knowledge and the sharing and dissemination of knowledge. I don't know whether they told you, my life has been given to sharing my knowledge and disseminating the knowledge for the past more than 63 years. I love knowledge so much that I found it required the full dedication from my side. I should not have any other interest, pursuit, application or program. I must be totally given to this knowledge, pursuing it on the one hand and disseminating it on the other. And this knowledge has taken me far and wide, within India and also outside. Wherever I go, it is an open university that I run. Young people, people of different ages, including old people, all of them come. It is a free admission. I have been a moving university, you can say. So much of love and dedication I have towards knowledge. I am wondering whether your dedication to knowledge, if at all, is anything like that. We cannot have a half-hearted approach towards knowledge. I tell the students who come to the ashram, children of the devotees who are used to us, that learn the subject, study for the love of knowing the subject. Don't prepare for the examination. Learn it as a subject or a branch of knowledge and love to learn it. This is the only way your brain and intelligence will grow, will develop. You are going to be an adult at the age of 21, latest. Until then, what will you do? Your mother feeds you, gives you nourishment to the body. The body will grow. But you are not the body alone. The body has to be animated and activated by something within the body. Let us call it the mind and the intelligence. They also have to grow and develop. This growth cannot be done in your house, and your mother and father are not fully competent to give you this growth. That is why you are sent to exclusively in the hands of the teachers who look after you. I think you spend more time with the teachers exclusively. In their hands, your brain, your mind, your intelligence, all of them are going to grow. This learning is only a process of bringing about this inner personal change of growth, expansion, stability, and other qualities. So learn the subject, try to know it. You may need it or may not do it. In our educational career, you will find you are exposed to a number of subjects in the school stages. As you go up higher and higher, there is a process of elimination. By the time you learn masters, only 1 or 2 subjects will be there. And when you conduct a research, it will be a single subject. But it is necessary for the growth of our personality, inner personality. So I think knowledge requires a lot of dedication, wholeheartedness, integrity, application. A lot of tenacity is required for it. You should not think I am forced to learn. I have an opportunity to learn. The mother of a child in London, Aditya, his name, I wanted to see the progress reports from his school. He has completed 5 years of education and he is going to the 6th. Almost all of the progress reports I read, and I was so happy and fascinated. I have never seen such progress reports in the hands of our Indian teachers. How beautifully they have analyzed the child. And they have written very encouragingly on the one hand, but very critically also. Where is the area in which the child has to apply himself definitely and specifically? Such wonderful education. They tell the parents up to the age of, up to the 5th class, never interfere in his education. Don't tell the child to learn. We will look after his learning. Give him food and nourishment and ask him to sleep. This is what the teachers say. No homework is given at all. And in the school also, there are trees and other things. They climb the trees, they do this, they do that. Can you imagine? It is something, an eye-opener for everybody. I think our countries, Asian countries, have to grow a lot in the matter of understanding the role of education, the content of education, the mission of education, the message of education. If you make the student interested in a subject, he will automatically start learning. The teachers come and start speaking mathematics, right from the beginning. What is this mathematics? What is this history? What is this sociology? Where is its relevance in human life? Unless the children are made to think, evaluate matters in themselves, you think that they are not intelligent. They are not at all. It's not at all correct. They are. But you should speak in their level and their language. So I have been able to look at this knowledge in this manner. Knowledge is a coordinate of human intelligence and human life. We cannot avoid it. We cannot suspend it. We cannot dismiss it. We cannot distance it from us. And we have to evaluate it and give the creditable position that knowledge deserves in our country. So I greet you all in the name of knowledge and its consistent pursuit in human life. Till the last breath, you can still be a knowledge seeker and a knowledge pursuer. Last breath of your life. Take interest in life, interest in the world. The world is the greatest book of knowledge. Open your eyes, inner eyes, and try to learn. This is the background with which I am going to talk to you. The subject for our discussion in the 2-day workshop is Vedanta for excellence in life. A copy of the list of the participants with their brief descriptions was given to me. I went through it and I find 95 or more percentage of the participants are speaking only about Vedanta. Nobody has referred to excellence in life. What is the interest which makes you come to participate in this workshop? The answer is, we are interested in knowledge. We want to know about Vedas. We want to know about Vedanta. I want to know more. I want to know about Hinduism. All this kind of an answer. So what shall I talk to you? Shall I talk to you about Vedanta, your pet subject, and give you an exposure on that, or something else? First of all, let me tell you, you have come here to be exposed to a branch of knowledge, a very vital branch of knowledge. One is Vedanta on the one hand, another is successfulness in life. So we want you to be successful in your life. And for that purpose, we also want you necessarily and inevitably to know what Vedanta is. This is our purpose. Now it should become your purpose also. Then we meet and jointly walk. In any field or process of exposition, I would like to remind you that there are 5 phases. One is the exposition by the exponent. Say, we are here as speakers, looking at you, and we are speaking. Our speech will be possible and effective only when there is a participation from your side in the form of reception. So you should be attentive and attuned to what the exponent presents before you. Am I clear? So it is a bilateral affair. I cannot go on to speaking, looking at the walls and the roof. I must have a receptive audience before me who are keen to listen to what I say and who are very attentive to what I say. They look at my face, look up at the lip movement. If I am moving my hands, they also look at them. The idea is to receive what is conveyed. Mere sound, I also use some actions, some other depictions. So these are to be looked at and seen. A person who talks like this, like a dead body speaking, he is not much listened to by people. He has to be vibrant. These are in mass media, these are days where they are told you should move this way. This is what they are taught. So you should look at the speaker, particularly the lip movement, that makes you understand him much better. 1. You should be attentive and attuned to what he says. Do not have any preference, do not have any prejudice also to what we are going to deliver for your benefit. So this is a bilateral pursuit, the first one. After that, what happens? From whatever we have been exposing, you are exposed to, you must at least pick up the salient features and start ruminating, reflecting upon, or introspecting over them. Rumination. You have to do it all alone. We have no part to play in it. The first is our part. You should ruminate and reflect upon sufficiently well until at last what you ruminate over becomes absorbed and assimilated in your inner personality. Am I clear? Am I clear? I said assimilated in your inner personality. You take the food. The food passes through the alimentary canal. By the peristaltic movement of the intestine, so much of absorption, assimilation takes place. And in the course of about 3 to 4 hours, the majority of the food that you have taken quantitatively, it gets absorbed into the bloodstream and the remaining affair goes away. So there is a process of assimilation even in the matter of food and nourishment. In the same manner, there is a process of assimilation in the knowledge inputs that you receive also. Now this will be possible only when you reflect upon what you hear. Reflect upon. This is where most of the listeners and hearers miserably fail. Don't think that by hearing your task is over. By hearing your task commences, so to say. Then after it is assimilated, as a result of rumination, it becomes your quality, your product, part of your being. Then you start expressing what you have heard. Am I clear? You don't have to be told. It becomes your quality, your enrichment, your possession, your wealth. your mainstay. You will change in a day. In a day you will change, provided you absorb an idea and input. This first of all I tell you. Now I introduce my subject. Our title is Vedanta for Excellence in Life. If you look at it, it has got three constituents. There are three questions involved there. What is Vedanta? What is life? And what is the excellence we seek to achieve in it? Vedanta for excellence in life. So what is Vedanta? And what is life? How to apply this Vedanta in order to have excellence in our life? Whatever you are, wherever you are, whatever your pursuit is, I believe any human has got three spheres or areas of activity. One is his own home, residential or domestic front. Then professional front. For children it is the school one. Then thirdly it is the societal front. So whether it is at home or in the professional environment or in the societal environment, wherever you are, whatever you do, you must be able to be excellent. Somebody worthy of being noticed and appreciated by the others. You will be one who can be depended upon. Suppose somebody says something and you feel it is okay, you can be trusted to act upon what you hear and accept. You don't have to be reminded many times. The mother tells you something. Don't make her tell you a second time. The father asks you to do something. Whatever you have to say in reply, say that then. And then simply fulfill it. That sensitivity is important. I call it sensitivity, but I would like to describe it as integrity of the personality. Why are we hearing? Why are we hearing? Is it like animal hearing or human hearing? I have heard. Automatically it must register its impact in me. And the impact should motivate me, make me do what I have heard. Otherwise I fail in me, I fail myself as an individual. So this is something very, very important. Very, very important. You have to be successful in life. And life has three fronts. Now, I would like to discuss the subject so that you, the individual, become excellential. What did I say? You, the individual, tell me. You, the individual, see, you are all shy, reluctant. How can you become excellent in this manner? You have to become excellential. So excellentiality or excellence is a quality and a merit of yours. If you think that I will do this work excellently, so the work becomes excellent, you don't become. You have to become excellent. So excellentiality must be a quality, a worth, a possession, a merit, an enrichment in your personality. That is the way I look at you. So that you will do well at home, in the professional front and in the societal front. Everywhere you will shine. That should be our idea. We are eating our food, providing nourishment for the body to grow. It completes its growth at the age of latest 21. Then the body's growth is a self-arresting condition. It stops. And from the next moment onwards, it starts declining. A fact and a truth many of you may not know. Do you know it? Why are you keeping quiet? So I will come and sit there and answer. After 21, the body's growth is arrested by itself. And from the next moment onwards, it is declining. It doesn't remain static. Now the question arises, what in you is supposed to grow thereafter? If not the body, factors other than the body, the inner personality. That inner personality consists of mind, intelligence and ego. These are the only three constituents in the inner personality. Our body is inert, I-N-E-R-T, or insentient, I-N-S-C-N-T-I-E-N-T. Our body is an aggregate of matter and energy. Neither matter nor energy has got any sensitivity or anything in the way of awareness. So the matter-energy body cannot act by itself. By itself. Our eyes cannot see by themselves. Our ears cannot hear by themselves. You are fast asleep. A drum is played. Will you hear? Huh? You have to sleep and I have to play. If you are fast asleep and even a drum is played, will you hear? So what is wrong? The ear is there, but it's not hearing. So our senses have to be empowered and animated, activated by the mind for their functions and sensibilities. So our mind is very important. Now my focus in all my discussions will be M-I-N-D. And this focus, this development of the mind will be facilitated by the sharing of knowledge, providing knowledge that is done at the level of the intelligence. So using the intelligence as a tool, I am trying to activate your intelligence so that you will understand the needs of the mind and the mind will be qualified to become excellent wherever it goes and whatever it does. Now the first subject is, what is Vedanta? Would you like to know? Shall I explain it properly? Huh? Maybe it will be a very new exposure for you. For the others who are already exposed, it will be a confirmation. And they need several times confirmation. The word Vedanta comes from Veda. The word Veda, a Sanskrit word, is derived from the root vid, to know. So the entire Vedas are a treasure house, a repository of knowledge. In that knowledge treasure is an extensive knowledge. Vedanta means the end portion of that knowledge. The end portion. The end portion of Vedas. So, what are Vedas in full? Would you like to know? Huh? Vedas are dealing with knowledge. It is a knowledge treasure, a knowledge storehouse. And in that, there are 4 sections or divisions. The first section consists of praises and prayers. What did I say? Praises and prayers. All in the form of hymns, Vedic hymns we call, H-Y-M-N-S, hymns. So there are so many hymns in the first portion. All of them contain prayers and praises addressed to some invisible, superhuman, ethereal deities. None of them is visible. So they lift their hands and go on praying, praising. This is the first portion. It is called Samhita portion. They were not doing it for a long time. How long we cannot say. After doing it, they felt a gap. We are addressing the superhuman powers. Honestly and sincerely, we pray to them, praise them. But are they hearing our prayers? And are they pleased? Will they give us what they want? No answer. No answer. It was purely a personal and subjective expression. There is no answer. There is no bilaterality in the whole process. So they felt unfulfilled. How long will you go on talking to a friend who has come to your house? You will talk, greet him, exchange greetings, etc. At least within an hour, you should offer him a cup of tea or coffee. Isn't it? Huh? Or, yes, my speech is gone, you go. Will you say? So we are praising our deities with a lot of fondness, reliance, etc. We don't know what happens to them. So they were tempted to offer them something. So they developed fire. They placed it in a ceremonial altar, started blazing the fire, and chanting the same mantras which they use for praying and praising. They started offering different kinds of material into the fire, particularly boiled rice and ghee. So the touch of ghee makes the fire blaze. So this is a second phase called Brahmana. A number of rituals and ceremonies were there. They developed it in a very protracted manner. I always describe the Hindu mind as a fertile mind. Whatever it takes up, it is very colorful, imaginative, and it will do everything that is possible to make it interesting, complex, and sometimes confusing also. This is the character of the Hindu mind. They continue to do that for a time, even then there is no difference. We have performed, we have done, we are satisfied. What about the other side? Have the offers reached them? Are they pleased? When are we going to get a word of acknowledgement? Nothing came. So they became desperate, abandoned both. Are you with me? Abandoned both. But the habit, it did not die in them. They were doing something good, great and holy. So that holiness and piety still lingered in them. So they closed their eyes and started applying their mind and intelligence to substitute what they were doing vocally and visibly. Now this phase is called what? Aaranyaka. At that time they left the normal household and city and town life. They retired into the forest, and remaining there, they started applying their mind and intelligence only for whatever they wanted to do. My dear souls, please listen to what I say. When they left everything visible and withdrew into themselves, they got immersed in their mind and intelligence. Wow! It was a life of knowledge. It was a life of experience. It was a life of enquiry, seeking, a new compulsion, a new persuasion, a new fascination overtook them. They became very deliberate. So, the mind could not keep quiet. The mind started galloping. So they defined different lines of enquiry. And these enquiries, they pursued tenaciously, as a result of which they arrived at knowledge. The third portion is Aaranyaka, and the last portion is the Upanishads. That word I would like you to utter. Upanishad. Say that. The word Upanishad means whatever knowledge is provided in the Upanishads, that knowledge is best understood provided you sit proximate to the teacher and ask him to explain it and you start listening. Raise pertinent questions wherever necessary and seek clarification. The word Upa means Samipe, sit closely by the side. Nishad means to sit. So sit by the side of the teacher and start learning. When he explains it, you will understand. The first portion of the Vedas is called Karma Kanda. It is a section devoted to various kinds of activities, call them religious, rituals, ceremonies, prayers, hymns of praise, etc. The second portion is called Jnana Kanda. Knowledge is the section. You understand the difference? The first consists in performance. The second consists in knowledge and the effort to know. One is based upon mouth, hands and external materials. The first. Based upon our mouth, our tongue, then hands, different kinds of materials, forming the ceremonial fire, altar, offering there, etc., etc. In the second, leaving everything. This is Jnana Kanda. That section on knowledge. Whatever is necessary to know, you do. And knowledge is not a coordinate of the body or the senses. It's always a love and a coordinate of the mind and the intelligence. So, in the knowledge section, our own mind and intelligence alone are involved, applied, and pursued. I will stop for a while. Have you got the message? Huh? No. Huh? Never quote anything. Maximum you can read books, think, raise questions, seek answers. Everything should be in the way of knowledge, seeking it, getting it, and attaining it. This is called Jnana Kanda. The entire Upanishads are nothing but knowledge voyage. It's a voyage of knowledge. Voyage of knowledge. This knowledge section of Vedanta, it is described in 3 parallel texts. One is the Vedic Upanishads. Second is Bhagavad Gita, which is a summary or a commentary on the Upanishads themselves. The third is Brahma Sutras, a collection of spiritual aphorisms, short and pithy sentences, where the whole knowledge is codified and presented in a garland shape. That is, by the way, the whole pursuit of Vedanta is done by the mind and intelligence, and it is very, very personal and inner. If you have to become a Vedantic student or a Vedantic seeker, understand that you have to give more importance to your mind. Mind cannot remain invisible and unknown, because we know that we are thinking, we have emotions. We have a number of inquiries, doubts. All these things arise from within the body, and we know them. Not with the senses, but we have an inner faculty by virtue of which the inner presence, mind, intelligence and ego, whatever they do, we are able to comprehend inwardly. So it is a pursuit where your mind and intelligence alone are involved, alone are applied, and alone are getting enriched. It is a voyage knowledge, a knowledge of voyage or voyage knowledge. And then in that voyage knowledge, where will you reach finally? Can you tell me? Huh? You sit, go on thinking, and at the end of the thinking, where will you reach? You will reach at the thinker. What? You will reach at the thinker, who gives rise to thinking, who produces thoughts, and thoughts are the outcome of the thinking process, and who thinks? The thinker. So you understand who is the thinker, what is the thinking, and what is the outcome called thought. Are they 3 different or are they the same? What is the magnitude of the thinker? How can I understand him in greater and greater dimensions? And in what way am I going to be benefited when I understand, analyze my own thought process, my own thinking process, and my own thinker? We always say, I. We refer to I, the first personal pronoun. When I say I, keeping I here, I say you. The you cannot be there except when the I is there. So in all our references, life and communication, my dear children, tell me, what is the first factor? Huh? Tell me without shyness. Agreed? Life is a pursuit. Life is an expression. It is an extension from the I. My speech, my action, my thought, my imagination, my effort, my endeavor, everything I do, my waking, my dream, my sleep, my family, my car, my property, my profession, my success, my fulfillment. For everything, tell me what is the beginning point? I. Is it known? You are using the word I, but have you ever introspected over what this I signifies or denotes? You will take one day to answer me. I am asking you a very simple question. Have you thought and reflected upon who or what this I is? Why did you think about it for some time and not more time? Is it insignificant? I can only say, we load the donkey with a bag of gold, and the donkey carries it. It only knows the weight of gold, not the value. Similarly, I don't call you donkeys, but you are carrying the I, not knowing the value of the I. Vedanta seeks to enlighten you about this I and tell you how infinitely resourceful, how comprehensive, how endless a dimension it has. Bodily you are limited, but inwardly you are unlimited. 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 Will you agree with me when I say this? You have doubt, isn't it? I will remove your doubt. Of all the organs that we have, our eyes are the smallest. With the smallest eye, you can see a mustard, very small. You can see a mango, a coconut, a jackfruit. You can see a mountain, a sea, and the endless sky. Tell me, what is the dimension of the eyes? Is it small or is it big and bigger? The power of the eye, is it small or big? I will start writing B, I, and G. You ask the eye specialist and tell him what is the far point of the eye. He will say it is infinity. At what distance is the sun rising? And how is it that you see it from the earth? At what distances are the stars shining? And how is it that you see with your eyes? Have you gone to them? Still, how do you see? Huh? So what is the power of the eyes? And this power generated or borrowed from whom, by whom, you tell me. When you were in a mother's womb, did mother shape your body? She only took food to satisfy or appease her hunger. The fetus in the mother's womb took only the blood from the mother as its food. But the whole shaping of the body was done by it, and that too in the course of 6 months or so. 6 or 7 months. And a full baby is delivered of, capable of seeing and interacting with the whole world of infinite distances and variety. So what do you think of the eye that you have? Is it of no consequence, importance? Or it deserves a full lifetime of research and finding? What do you think? Our body alone has stopped growing. Our mind is poised to grow, and you can never complete the growth. Even a small percentage of infinity is greatly much. If you are able to achieve a small measure of the inner growth, I think it is substantial. Suppose I give you an infinitesimal part of infinite measure of gold. Will it not be still sufficient? You did not understand. Infinite measure of gold. And I give you a very, very small percentage of it. How much will it be? Will it be small or big? Why are you not reacting? I am not giving you 1% of 100, 1% of 1,000. I am giving you a small percentage of an infinite measure. Will it be enough and substantial or small? That is the spiritual growth is to be understood like that. Even a small measure of growth, swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate magato bhayat. Even a small measure of this practice, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, will deliver you from the world fear, the fear of the world. Your mind will be freed from fear, he says. It is when the I is there, you are there, he is there, she is there, it is there, they. The whole life is a triangle. I, you and the others. I, you and the others. It's a triangle. In the triangle, the I is the fulcrum point. That I is the subject of discussion of Bhagavad Gita. The subject of discussion of Vedanta, the Upanishads and the Brahma Sutras. Swamiji, can there be such an I within our body? Or is it that we are cooking up? Do you have such a doubt? I would like you to have. Can there be such an I? My answer is, listen to Vedanta in its own language and words. Dehaadanyo naasti dehi chetvam swapne ko va vetti sarvam vikaram suptau ko va shunya vetta prabodhe grinhatyakshaihi drishyajatam vadasva. Dehaadanyo naasti dehi chetvam. Swamiji, you are saying something I is there and it is very great. I don't think that there is such an I different from the body. If you say, please answer 3 questions. Dehaadanyo naasti dehi chetvam. Tell me, swapne ko va vetti sarvam vikaram. All of you must have slept. Every day you sleep. And you must have experienced a dream. In dream, actually your body is lying on the cot fast asleep. Then you have a dream. And in the dream you go to London or Denmark. Tell me, who has gone? This body lying on the cot. Nevertheless, you have the experience of having gone to London and Denmark. There you were traveling, you were getting hungry, you went into a hotel, ate stomach full, finally you got up. So the food that you have eaten, it is still lying undigested there. Now tell me, with what body did you go? Did you go or not? Huh? What was the experience? I went. Only when you woke up, it became dream. While it was dream, it was not a dream. It was a valid experience. So can you say that there is nothing besides the body in the body? Unless something is there, how can you travel? Inside the body, only subtle things can be there. So the subtle presence in your body is capable of traveling to London and Denmark. So there is somebody called the dreamer and the dream experiencer. Then leaving everything, you sleep and you wake up to say, I knew nothing. I knew nothing. As you now say, I know many things. The same I you say, I knew nothing. Tell me, who was the knower of nothing? In sleep, you were unconscious of the body, unconscious of the mind, of the intelligence, of the world, of everything. As you are conscious of everything now in the waking state, you are unconscious of everything in the sleep state. So, when you say, I knew nothing, I slept comfortably, who is that I who slept? Gridhatyakshaihi drishyajatam vadasva. It is the same I which dreamt, the same I which slept, that is now awake, and then through the senses it perceives the whole world. So the seer is not the eyes. It is not even the mind. It is not even the intelligence or ego. There is something distinct from these, which slept, dreamt, and is now awake. Is the idea clear? Huh? No. You say, I dreamt, I am awake, and I slept. So is the I only the waker? No, it is the sleeper. It is also the dreamer. In dream you understand his capacity to create. In wakefulness you understand how you interact with this world, the same I. And in sleep you understand it can completely negate everything and go into sleep. The world rises only when you wake up in the morning. The world doesn't wake up and sleep. You alone wake up. You alone sleep. You alone dream. So the world is a dawn in my mind. My mind is the creator of the world in waking. And the same mind completely is lost, wiped off in sleep. In sleep. So I can create the world and also uncreate the world. I can create an alternate world also in dream. This is the capacity of the I that you have. It can make, unmake, and bring changes in what is there. So much of capacity it has. When you know more about yourselves, more about the infinite resourceful nature of your inner presence, I think your life will become a totally different one. You will not fear. You will not unduly desire. You will not court or allow constrictions in the mind. Preferences, prejudices, competition, jealousy, all kinds of hate and hateful emotions, everything vacate. You become a pure, lotus-like person. Lotus-like person. Everyone will like you. Even for enemy number one, you will be the first person whom he likes. That kind of an elegance you will be able to cultivate. Get rid of the constrictions of the mind, the limitations of the mind. Understand your infinite potential within your body, held by the mind, held by the intelligence, held by the soul. Every time you say, I am the soul, I am the soul, the only thing that can perhaps exemplify me is SPAC, space. I am not like the earth. I am not like the water. I am not like the air. All of them are limited. I am not like even fire. I am the space. Akashavalle paviduragoham. A beautiful line. Akashavad lepaviduragoham. I am untainted, taintless, like the sky and space. Adityavad bhasya vilakshanoham. Like the sun, I illumine everything. And nothing is called for to show us the sun. Sun's brilliance is such that it is felt by it. It is itself felt. It shows itself and also the objects of the world. Even when I slept and everything went away from me, I did not go. I woke up from the sleep to say, I slept. So the I is never wiped off from me. Mind is wiped off. Intelligence is wiped off. Ego is wiped off. The world is wiped off. But I am not wiped off anywhere. Adityavat. And this I is illumined by itself, not shown by a second factor. Adityavat bhasya vilakshanoham aharyavad nityavinishyaloham. Like a mountain, I am unshakable. My dear souls, can you say this? Huh? What? I am not saying your body is not unshakable, but the inner presence is unshakable. Ambodhivad paravivarjitoham. Like the sea, I am unbounded. I am unbounded. I am endless. This is the song that you will sing. If you ask me what is Vedanta, this is Vedanta. This is Vedanta. It tells you about the I in you, shows of what dimension and magnitude it is. Tells you to be connected to it, to be aware of it, to remember it, to be infused by it, to be enthused by it, to be inspired by it. Get connected to it, and say, I am unshakable, I am unshakable, I am unshakable. Even the 13 or 18 boys that were held up in the cave, the teacher appears to have put them into meditation. Meditation. At that lonely place. And the children seem to have acquired a lot of inner strength. How did they survive for so many days? Just imagine. Harvard University says, when we went to America last time for conducting the Global Bhagavad Gita Convention in California, Pankaj, who was my host, was telling me, Harvard University has issued a bulletin. 7 hours people sleep in average. 17 hours they are awake. 1020 minutes. Out of the 1020 minutes, at least 20 minutes you should close your eyes and get connected to your own self, your own I. Then you will be successful in life. Successful in anything that you do, anything you want to achieve. Derive inspiration from within. Sri Rama was encountering Ravana. Rama had only 2 hands and he did not have even a chariot. He was standing on the floor. And Ravana with 10 heads and 20 hands, he came in a golden chariot. Yeah, can you imagine the inequation between the two? And then they were fighting. At one point of time, Rama was discharging arrows at Ravana, 10 heads. So he cut one, it fell. He cut the second, the first sprouted again. Pah! What is this? I cut off the neck, the second one, the first sprouts. So he said, this is going to be an endless mission. I don't know what to do. He stopped fighting, closed his eyes, contemplated upon his own I, the Antaratma, the inner brilliance, the inner splendor, the inner infinite magnitude, infinite resourcefulness. He contemplated upon, opened his eyes, took an arrow, aimed it at the chest of Ravana. He fell. Heads and necks were 8, but the heart and lungs feeding them were only 1. Which? Where from did he get the suggestion, you tell me? Or like all of you do, did he press the mobile? See, I am encountering this proposition, please let me know. Or search in the Google. He got it from himself. Understand it. You refuse to understand that you have an insight. You refuse to understand that there can be an inner brilliance. Maybe I will talk to you this afternoon or tomorrow about what is meant by inner brilliance. We only know about visual brilliances. That is in the form of light. But there is something called the inner brilliance. Inner brilliance. Inner brilliance. Try to understand it. How do you know that you have a thought? Which is the torch which illumined it. So many thoughts and emotions are arising within your body, in the mind. How do you know? If light is necessary visually for seeing, some presence is required for you to see inside the thoughts. There is an inner brilliance. Vedanta tells you to understand it more, to be connected to it always, and to be a recipient of ceaseless, timely, helpful, and even infinite resources to make your life effective, achieve greater and greater degrees, and go forward. There should be no time in your life when you say, I am tired, I cannot assimilate the impact. Any impact of your life, you must be able to assimilate. When you assimilate it, it becomes enrichment. And every day should be a day of additional enrichment for you. In the outside world, you may have plus and minuses. But in the inner world of yours, within the body, no plus and no minus. It should always be progressive, reinforcing. There is a way of doing it. I thought I will tell you about it. Why don't you contemplate upon your own inside and the inner dimensions? Who else will show it for you? When your mind is aggrieved, will Coca-Cola solve the problem? When you have a doubt, who will resolve it? If you go to a movie, will it resolve the doubt or problem that you have? The problem is felt by the mind and the solution is delivered by the intelligence. First it is a problem, then it is a solution. What was the problem that Newton encountered? So many people picked up the apples falling from the apple tree, they ate and went away. Newton also saw the apples fall. He said, no. What? From everywhere it falls perpendicularly. Why should they fall? Can they not fly or flee? So in the falling there must be a meaning, there must be a connection, there must be something there. So he started thinking. You know, he thought for 1 year before he discovered the force of gravity of the earth. What do you think? If there is a problem, that is the first gift of the mind, encounter. The solution, only when there is a problem. For Newton, it was a problem, it was a mystery, and he wanted to resolve it. He went on thinking, introspecting with dedication, commitment, perseverance, ceaselessness, and he discovered. Similarly, every one of you, my dear girls, my dear boys, my dear men and women, every one of you can succeed to an enormous measure in life. There is no defeat for anybody. Even if we have some ups and downs in the external world, they will act as Philips for us in the internal world, and we will grow, nourished more and more, elevated more and more, encouraged more and more. It is nice to hear the questions. Yes.
Hari Om Swamiji. Namaste. I'm also a bit hesitant to ask questions, but since it's a Q&A time, Swamiji, you mentioned the way the Vedas progressed in 4 phases. I have a curiosity which is more historical than Vedantic related question, because when we talk about the time phases, I'm just grappling. So what you said was they developed the prayers and the phrases first, and then after many years or 1,000 years or something, they came to the fact that they need to do more knowledge introspection. How come that phase was so combined in the history of India that, you know, all those Upanishads and all that came at that juncture? What makes that connection? And after that, it has not happened as such in the last 5,000 years, or people like, you know, Shankaracharya, who also did more. And what is special about that phase that it happened like that? It's just a curiosity that I have. It's not going towards your subject maybe, but just a curiosity.
See, nobody can say how long our Vedic thinkers spent in prayers and praises. We have no record of it. But in the same Vedic treasure we find the first period devoted to praises and prayers. Subsequently, we find rituals and ceremonies are mentioned. So the time lag between the first and the second we cannot say. But they have moved from one stage to another. Then after passing through the first 2 stages, what we find is there was a diametrical turn. When the external world or external action does not answer your quest, where will you turn to? Even today, Suppose a mother has a disobedient son, and the son is not at all trying to be obedient. All her actions have failed. Then what will she then do, you tell me? If the external efforts are not meaningful and relevant, the only course for us, as I told you about Sri Rama's fighting, is to turn inside. Because in the whole life and world, there is only external and internal. If the external problem cannot be solved externally, we only have to look at the inward presence. So a turn took place. When the turn took place, it was a very critical turn. Because everything is sourced by the mind, sourced by inside. That point I have not clarified, I will take it up for the next session. How they progressed in that line, it is mentioned there in the Upanishads. So we can say something about the call of the Upanishads. I will take it up for the next talk. So the time lag we cannot say. But after reaching the Upanishad stage, did they search or think further, if you ask me? No. It was not necessary at all. All their questions were answered, quests were met, and they were fulfilled. That is why it is called Vedanta, the end of the knowledge pursuit. If the researching mind feels satisfied and full, then will it research any further? All the research is springing from the intelligence, from a level of curiosity, dissatisfaction. When the dissatisfaction goes and you have full satisfaction, I don't think we will try to do anything. Maximum share your satisfaction with the others. Like we are doing it. Let it be one or many, why are you concerned about it?
Only the
In the
answers.
Vedic text which we have now, the clear fact that is shown is, it is divided into 4 sections. In the first section, prayers and praises. In the second section, performances. In the third, withdrawal from these and getting into a mood of contemplation. In the fourth, finding answers. The time we can only say it is prehistoric. At what period of history, how can you say? Because it becomes prehistoric. We have history recorded up to 600 BC. Before that, what time, how can anybody say? It can be anything. The moment we say it is prehistoric, we cannot give any particular date or mark for it. And because they had reached the end point of knowledge, the fulfillment of knowledge, no further inquiry is there and nothing more had to be accomplished. So it got fulfilled there. This is what we find. We shall go to the next question.
Hello, Swamiji. Thank you for your this morning's sharing. It certainly has enlightened me a lot more than I walked in here. My question relates to the word knowledge. Knowledge. We normally understand the word knowledge as something that we get out from books or from a lecture. But I get the feeling that knowledge here you're referring to when we seek something within ourselves as opposed to looking out of ourselves. So when we say we're seeking for something within ourselves and we're seeking for this knowledge, or you yourself are a seeker of knowledge and you dispense knowledge, what is this knowledge that I want that we come to understand or are supposed to realize?
You want to know what is this knowledge?
Yes. What is it that we are to find?
Okay, please. I told you that at one point of time, we are generally speaking about thoughts. How can thoughts arise in us? Is thought the beginning point or the end point of a process? Thought is an outcome of thinking. Thinking is an act, and such an act can arise only from an actor or a source. So there is a thinker who thinks and produces the outcome called thought. So when we inquire into the very thought process, even about the world, thought process about the world, the thought is an outcome derived from thinking process, which originates from the thinker. So when you understand the thinker, then I also said, are there 3 or only 1? within the body, can you find the thinker, the thinking process and thoughts? So many thoughts arise. Are they placed anywhere within the body? Where is the space for it? So somehow thought is felt. Naturally thinking must have been there, and there must be a thinker. Who has become the thinker? Now this kind of an investigation takes place. That is what Vedanta is. In that investigation, you understand the very source of knowledge. No knowledge of any kind arises from anywhere other than one's own within. So you reach the source of knowledge, and that discovery or revelation becomes so fulfilling, so complete. It delivers and bestows so much of abundance that you have no scope to indulge in anything else. That kind of a fulfillment. Vedanta defines it in this manner. See whether you can catch it. Bhidyate hridaya granthi, chidyante sarva samshaya, kshiyante chasya karmani, tasmin drishte paravare. When the supreme truth is fully known, three benefits accrue. One is the knot of the heart called ego is let loose. All doubts are dispelled, and all the effects of karma which apparently you seem to carry in you, all of them are exhausted. So the ego is totally untied. The doubts completely disappear. And any kind of a feeling of having to do, having done, suffering the consequence or enjoying, these things also vanish. The mind becomes like the autumn sky. In such a situation, what is there further to be known? In the autumn sky, there will be no product at all. See, our astronauts were traveling to the moon. So when they went beyond the orbit of the earth, they could not understand anything. There was nothing to see, nothing to think, nothing to find. So they had to be told, it is early in the morning, get up, go to the bathroom, wash your teeth, take breakfast, etc., etc. So in such a state, what will anybody do? It is a state of fullness where the whole space is revealed. That is the nature of knowledge that you have. This knowledge is called the subject knowledge, as different from the object knowledge. And so far as the object is concerned, shall I say? Huh? Shall I say? Why is he keeping quiet? He doesn't nod his head. Shall I say or not? I think you should tell me openly. When you sleep, is there any object there? Shh. When you are asleep, do you feel that you are sleeping? What happens to your body?
Your body
So everything is gone. You are not gone. You wake up to say, I knew nothing, I slept comfortably. Naturally, that is the subject. All other things are objects. When the objects are not there, still the subject survives. But when the subject is not there, the object cannot be. So the subject becomes the supreme, and the object is a subsidiary and dependent factor. This knowledge you get. I can explain it still further. Remind me next time.
Reverend Swamiji, the mind has enormous strength.
The mind?
The mind has enormous strength. Enormous strength.
Oh, yes, enormous strength. Okay.
But how do we achieve that strength? How do we enhance our strength?
Okay, please. When you know the mind has enormous strength and you start reflecting upon it, how you say that mind has enormous strength? So we will start explaining what is this meant by this enormity of the mind and mind strength. When you know that the mind is enormous and you have such a mind, tell me, what will you be? Huh? When the mind intrinsically has enormous strength and you have such a mind, does it not stand to conclude that you are also enormous in your strength? No. Such a simple thing. See, the mind has got enormous strength and you have such a mind. So you tell me, having a mind of enormous strength, will you be enormous or not in your strength? This is the simple way. It is not that you have to make the mind enormous. Mind has enormous strength. I will tell you. All our experiences are within the body and in the mental level. This much will you agree? Huh? If all experiences are in the mental level, you are looking at the world and you say it is an endless world. So this endlessness about the world, you are pronouncing on the basis of your experiencing it. So if the mind gives you the experience of the endless world, what is the measure and magnitude of the mind? Check. How is it that you are keeping quiet? Let me get up. See, mind is the seat of your experiences, source of your experiences. And it is this mind that reveals to you the endless nature of the world. So the endless world, where is it reflected and felt? When your mind reflects the endlessness, the endless magnitude of the world, is the mind bigger than that measure, or it is smaller? So please speak to me from the intelligence, not mortgage it. Where from do you get the idea that the world is infinite? Did the world speak to you? I can look at this object. I will see only this. I can look at the table. I can look at the hall. I can look into the wide open sky. All these things are reflected in my mind and I experience them. So the mind, the bestower of all experiences, and in that experience you find an infinitude and endlessness. These two words, on the basis of what are you saying? The sun rises in the morning. You sit somewhere in the corner of a globe and then say the sun has risen. How dare you make such a statement? On the basis of your experience, you are seeing the sun rising. And this rising of the sun, where do you see it? Why are you looking up? Where are you seeing the sun rising? If you have no eyes, will the sun rise? So the rising of the sun at such a great distance, your mind, and every time you see something, you don't see the object at all. It is our mind that makes an imprint of the object, and you are seeing the mind imprint every time. All of you are seated before me, and I see all of you. I don't come to you, you don't come to me, you haven't entered my heart. But I can tell you who is seated where, and what kind of a dress that person has put on. From here I am able to say. So how do I say this? Because all of you are imprinted by my mind. My mind imprints all of you in my own mind. So I see only the mind imprint. I don't see you. So you tell me what is the source of all experiences? Tell me, do you agree or disagree? I squarely want to ask you, are you a fool or wise? You have to tell me I am a fool. Or you have to say I am wise. What is this? It is our mind that reflects and shows all experiences. And I experience infinitude by my mind. So what is the capacity and measure of my mind, you tell me? Such a mind you are possessing. And what should you be? You should be an ant or you should be a mountain. This is what human life is meant for. See, you walk with a dog early in the morning. You and the dog will see all around. The dog will come and sleep. You will start thinking about what you have seen. This is the difference between an animal and a human. Everything that we see, everything that we experience, we can subject it to an introspection and grow in our knowledge. Our human life is not meant for eating, sleeping, and multiplying. Our human life is meant for knowledge. Knowledge. You delight in your mind. You delight in your wisdom. Knowledge is the source of delight for you, not food and shelter. What do you think when you desire something and the desired object is had by you? You wanted to purchase a car, you purchase the car, it is in the garage. But where do you have the delight? In the garage or in your mind? So who is the delighter? The car is the delighter or mind is the delighter? Because the mind produced a desire and that desired object is had. The mind feels my desired object is had, therefore I am delightful. So producing a desire, fulfilling it and giving you the delight, the whole process takes place in your mind or outside. Is there any object which enters your inside to make you delightful? Even a newborn child, the child is outside, the mother feels happy. The mother feels happy. So the happiness is in her mind. The same mind can be asked, now through the objects you are giving me delight, my dear mind. Delight is an emotion, joy is an emotion. That emotion is had only by the mind. All emotions belong to the mind. This much do you agree? Agree? So the delight also is mind's. Now you are giving me delight through an object. My dear mind, you start giving me delight all by yourself, without the object. Is it rational or not? You have to answer me. You cannot escape. The mind is the only source of delight. Ask the mind to give you the delight. That is how we people are moving about, always happy and contented. If you ask me, my dear world, I want nothing from you. There is no plus that can be brought about in me. There cannot be a minus administered to me. I am complete and full. This is what I have to tell the world. Nothing. Nothing can be added to me. There is no space in me. In my mind, what can enter? Can any object enter from this world? Please answer me. Are you afraid? Can any object enter my mind to give me delight? So I am delighted by my own mind. Now it seeks to delight through the objects. The same mind can say, without any objects, I shall be delightful. That is why people sing the name of God and start dancing. I also put people into dance. Please understand, this is knowledge. What knowledge? Knowledge of the subjects, not knowledge of the objects. This is knowledge of the knowing process, the knower. The knowing process, that is within. The knower is within. The knowledge is his. When I explain it to you, automatically there must be some impact. That is why Vedanta, the Upanishads say, you learn it sitting close to your teacher. And he will persuasively tell you, repeatedly tell you, see, I got up. Why did I get up? Because I felt that, what is this? This knowledge is missed by so many people. It's a fact. It's a truth. And only a human brain is required to know it. I cannot talk to the swines. I can only talk to the humans. They will be able to understand it. And any knowledge is an addition. This is the greatest persuasion in man. So when you know that you have such an enormous mind, what is it that you need from the world? You will give to the world rather than take from the world. You will be a giver. By your life, the world will be enriched. The world will be edified. The world will be ornamented. The world will be more and more resourceful. See, I was reading a high court judgment. He was saying the spiritual centers and spiritual abodes are the conscience keepers of the society, the judge says, after a beautiful discussion. Such conscience keeping centers are there everywhere in every country. So when something happens there, something undesirable, we should not magnify it and create a big problem. We should try to hush it up. Otherwise the society loses something very great, he says. This knowledge, nobody generally runs after it, but some people do run after it. That is why it is preserved. Our Ramayana, Mahabharata, etc. have been preserved, not in reading rooms and libraries, in the mouths and hearts of people. They sing it, they read it, they explain it, they hear it, they write on it. And for thousands of years, this literature has been kept by us without changing a syllable of them. One syllable has not been changed. The Sanskrit that was written multi-millennia earlier, that language written multi-millennia earlier, even today we read it and understand it in the same manner. When I read Paranchikani Vyadranat Swayambhu, it was written in the Vedic Upanishads. When we don't know, I read them, understand them. The same words, the same ideas, the same meaning. If India is great, it's only because of this wonderful possession, wonderful treasure that they have. Some people felt moved and touched by it, and they lived for them. See, I am one who has been relishing this knowledge beyond everything. So for the sake of this knowledge, pursuing it, perfecting it, and also propagating or disseminating it, I felt, push, left everything. Income, job, blood relations, everything left. And I got out to become free. In getting out, I always used to say, I have been greeted by chance. I am greeted by chance and graced by providence during the past 63, 64 years. Because of the love for this knowledge. Please understand this. Please understand this. Love for this knowledge is so beautiful, so mighty, so stupendous, so resourceful. What is there? It is about your mind, your intelligence, your eye, nothing else outside. You must be wondering as to why I got up, is it not? Huh? Huh? Not necessarily so, but what I felt was that, how can I drive this fact home? So I am trying, maybe I will fly also, if I can.
Swamiji, Jai Guru, my name is Sekli Swamiji. Jai Guru Swamiji. My humble pranams, Swamiji. With your permission, I have a question, or rather, I seek your confirmation whether my understanding is correct. Swamiji, I have understood that we say that I have a mind, I have a body, and these are my thoughts. So it's I have a mind, I have a body, I have thoughts, I have emotions, but these do not make up me. I am not this, I'm not these. And Swamiji also said that we are actually supreme. The I is supreme. The I controls everything, our perception of things, and the eyes, and we interact with the outer world through our bodies, through the 5 sensory organs, and they get interpreted in the mind, get imprinted in the mind. So, Swamiji, may I ask if my understanding is correct? The actual I, the real I, is the big I, which I understand it to be, if I'm correct, Swamiji, the pure consciousness. So, if could I use this term to say that I am the actual me, the real me is the pure consciousness, the very substratum of the whole universe. And therefore, I need not strive so much as what you say. Providence is always there. Hence, if we can grasp this principle, we need not worry, we need not strive, we need not have any fear at all. Fear of not having enough, fear of losing what we already have, and also we could then be more aware of the workings of the ego that actually controls us in a not in a constricted way. So if I can sort of like have a mindset, adopt this new mindset that I am the pure consciousness. Hence, I can be the Chit Ananda, Sat Chit Ananda. I don't have to worry. Am I right, Swamiji? Jai Guru.
I don't know whether I have understood you correctly. I will try to answer you. Please listen to me. In the whole creation, mark my words, in the whole creation, there are only 3 constituents. One is matter, another is energy. The matter and energy and their derivations, all of them can be sensed by our senses. But the world is not exhausted by matter and energy. There is one more factor as far as we experience things, we are concerned. The third factor is consciousness. What? Other than these 3, there is nothing at all in the whole creation. Either it is matter, or it is energy, or it is consciousness. Now, what is this consciousness is a very important question. While matter and energy are visible and subject to sensory observation, comparison and contrast, consciousness is not sensorily visible or perceptible. Because it is not perceptible to the senses, you cannot define it. We only have a vocabulary which relates to objects. This consciousness being other than matter and energy, we cannot define it. But we know that there is consciousness because we are conscious. What did I say? And what is consciousness? Please listen to me carefully. We cannot define it, I have already said, but still we must make an attempt. Consciousness is that which makes you conscious of other things and yourself. Consciousness is that which makes you conscious of other things and yourself. That consciousness is this I. Because that I makes you aware of the body, aware of the mind, aware of the intelligence, aware of the ego, aware of the world. It also makes you aware of itself. That is why you say I am. So, apart from the I am feeling or I feeling, you must be able to get at the consciousness as a distinct presence, by virtue of which you become conscious of all other things as well as yourself. When you are able to understand the amness of the I, then you become wise. I will put it in another way. I am a very good speaker. I will put it in another way. You are sleeping unconsciously. You don't know. But when you wake up, you can say, I slept. If you can sleep consciously, then you will understand it. So it is either conscious slumber or sleepy consciousness. In other words, it is either wakeful slumber or sleepy consciousness. This is the only third factor. And the third factor is the source of the other two, matter and energy. Have I helped you in any way? You say I, but you should understand what is this I. The I is not matter, it is not energy. So other than matter and energy, what can it be? It can only be consciousness. And you are conscious. That is why you are wakeful. That conscious element which makes you conscious of your wakefulness, that is the truth that you are looking for. Vedanta deals with that. Anybody who has understood it, his life becomes devoted to that understanding and he starts spreading this message. That is what happens. He doesn't find any other pursuit to be interesting. We shall stop now. I shall conclude the session now. Samvedya varjidamanuttamamekamādyam samvidpadam vikalanam kalayan mahatman hridyeva tishta kalanārahidah kriyām tu kurvan akartrapadamētya shamodidashri kurvan akartrapadamētya shamodidashri. We shall have a conclusional Omkara recitation in chorus. I hope we have known each other well and you have also become more familiar. So I can expect a greater participation in this chorus recitation from all of you participants. Harihi, Harihi. Like before, now also, but better. Okay, we shall meet again. I wish you well.